All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Double Grid. So they're calling this one a Citra and Mosaic hopped Double IPA. Comes in at 7.5% alcohol by volume, 65 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is approximately 3 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Hop Butcher for hooking me up with this one. They sent me a box of goodies, 6 different beers, and I'm going to be posting them throughout the month of October and November, and it was the first box they sent my way in almost a year, about 10 months. So really excited to have some more Hop Butcher in my life. I reviewed their Bird of Epic Proportions, which was a collab with Horse Aged Ales, and it was pretty good. The aroma didn't translate into the nose in a good way, not even a good way, but it was just a different kind of expectation. When I drank it, I was like, oh man, but it was still delicious. Now, when it comes to this beer, I will say this. When I first got wind of Hop Butcher, there were 2 beers that I heard really good things about. Their Blazed Orange, which milkshake, basically like an orange creamsicle milkshake double IPA, and then this beer, which was a Citra and Mosaic hopped double IPA. I heard great things about these beers. I got the chance to try the Blazed Orange. I got to try the Double Blazed Orange, and I cannot thank Hop Butcher enough, but this is like the one, I guess, beer on my bucket list still for Hop Butcher and to try, and I'm so excited to give this one a good. Now, I reviewed their Grid, which was the pale ale version of this one, and it was really good, but I'm so excited about this one. So 3 weeks old, pretty damn fresh. I can't wait to get into it. Hashtag proper glassware. Let's give it a pour. I'm not going to look at the tasting notes anymore before I review Hop Butcher beers, just because I don't want to go into it with any preconceived notions. I used to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore, just because, you know, we shouldn't. I don't think I should anyway. Gonna crack it open, get it into this glass. See what we got going on here. I love this glass too, by the way. Oh, that's pouring out. I can already tell this is going to be pretty fucking fantastic. It has to be. Just look at when you see the look of this. I mean, I think you have to agree with me, just based on the look. It looks fucking great. Yeah, that looks so dirty and murky. Yeah, that looks fantastic. That looks like basically just all the pulp in an orange juice. Like that just looks fantastic. It looks like there's it's like one of those, you know, heavily fruited like fruit smoothie sours you get nowadays. If you told me there was like passion fruit or actually orange juice in the beer, I wouldn't be opposed to what I'm seeing right now. I'd be like, yeah, no, totally, you're right. It has about 1.5 fingers of this. It's relatively creamy, but there's bigger bubbles. It looks kind of soap sudsy, so the head doesn't look amazing, but the body of the beer looks exactly what I expect for something like this. Let's get nose. Oh, little bit, I'm going to say this right from the get-go. It's rare that I get this from Hop Butcher. Little bit of like a green kind of astringency. Little bit of, dare I say, hop burn just on the nose. But after that, that has a great, like, I don't want to say, I'm going to say like very forward, like citrus nose to it, but there is a lot of orange in here, a lot of like tangelo. I love to say tangelo, right? You got your tangerine, you got your grapefruit, tangelo. But yeah, it has like really juicy, I'd say juicy citrus vibes in the nose. Yeah, orange, grapefruit, tangerine, but after that has this tropical fruit character that is all over the place. It has like this really fleshy mango, kind of like sweeter mango. There's a bit of like a pineapple thing going on too, maybe a touch of passion fruit. Then on top of everything is this blanket of like dank herbaceous quality to it. So it's kind of what I expected. Oh, man, my mouth is watering a lot. I don't know if you've noticed it, if you've been watching my reviews over the last like couple weeks since I've come back to the channel, but like my mouth is watering when I'm reviewing these beers, and it never used to water like that, but I just, probably because I haven't been drinking that much over the past, 10 months, that when you have something that smells this good, my mouth is just like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, it smells heavenly. I will say the only thing that's kind of slightly off-putting is that like green astringency that, oh my God, this is a fresh beer. Hopefully that doesn't carry over to the palate, but we will see. So thanks again to Hop Butcher, and cheers everybody. Let's see what this one has to offer. It's absolutely fucking delicious. Like, delicious. Delicious. I've had this happen a couple times with Hop Butcher beers before, but this actually, like a lot of times, and you know what, I don't want to speak for any other beer tuber, anybody else who puts themselves out there on video and talks about beer. But when I am explaining a beer and I'm talking about fruit characteristics, it's fruit characteristics in beer. So shout out to a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Kyle, over at All Hype Beer Reviews. He said this plenty of times before, and I totally agree with him. When I say I smell and taste pineapple in here, it's a hop pineapple. It's not like I'm actually tasting like a real pineapple here. It's just the essence of pineapple in hop form, if that makes any sense, right? Except for there's been a couple beers, and this is one of them, where I actually taste like real like fruit juice in this fucking beer, even though there's not any. It's wild. It's like sweet orange juice mixed with like you know those peach rings, the you know the peach gummy rings with the crystallized sugar on them. It's like that plus orange juice in the taste. It's so good. It's unbelievable how good this beer is. Body, this is like higher side of medium, lower side of full. This actually has some heft to it. Yeah, I would stick with that. Higher side of medium, lower side of full. The mouthfeel is fucking hop butcher to a T. Soft, smooth, creamy. It has carbonation to let you know this is a carbonated beverage, and AKA a beer, but it's so soft and smooth and creamy on the palate, it's fucking just out of this world. The flavors though, right up front, freshly squeezed sweet orange juice mixed in with those peach gummy rings, passes through the palate. There is this nice, dank, herbaceous kind of quality that just pops its head in, and it carries on through the finish. This beer has a kiss, a touch of bitterness on the back end, but what that dank herbaceousness is bringing, along with the beer itself, is just like this nice dryness. I would say this is mild to moderately dry. Along with that kiss of that bitterness, it stops the sweetness in its tracks, probably about 3/4 of the way through the palate. 7.5%. Yeah, I can, based on what I'm drinking, I'm going to say this is a double IPA if I was doing it blind. Like that's just what I would say. But the ABV isn't there. You're not tasting alcohol in the palate. You're actually tasting all those freshly squeezed and fresh fruit, like the orange juice and then the peach gummy rings and whatnot. But yeah, the ABV, it's 7.5. It's fine. It drinks like it. I will say the only slight deterrent to this one that will stop this beer from getting a 5 out of 5 for me is there is still on the back of the palate a very slight like hot burn, green astringency, vegetal matter. Very slight though. The nose I think was more of an indication that it might be a little bit more prevalent on the palate, but it's not as I'm drinking it. Man, it's so fucking good. Yeah, so I would say freshly squeezed orange juice, peach gummy rings, herbaceous dankness. It's pretty sweet, but it has a nice mild to moderate dryness with a touch of bitterness on the back end. The ABV is what it is. It's 7.5%. You know it is, but the alcohol is really not on the palate. Body and mouthfeel out of this world. Fucking amazing beer. Everything I've heard about this one has been nothing but good, good news and praise from people about how good this beer is. And you know what? A lot of times, especially in craft beer, beers do not live up to the hype. This beer lived up to my own hype that I had for it. And I have no problem giving Double Grid from Hop Butcher a high 4.75 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.8 out of 5. Like I said, to get that extra 0.2 into an actual 5 range, I think for me that hop burn would have to be just null and void and gone, and maybe a little bit more complexity. Because like I said, outside of the orange juice, peach gummy rings, and the herbaceous dankness, those are really 3 characters I'm getting. So, outside of that, it's not really all that complex. I always say beer doesn't need to be complex to be good. In this situation, to get a 5 out of 5, it needs more complexity, and that hop burn needs to be kind of squashed, which might happen, down the line, maybe 2-3 weeks from now. But even so, that hop burn and the complexity stops it from a 5 out of 5. But we're talking about 4.8 out of 5 beer. Like who cares, right? It's fucking world-class, amazing beer. Price and availability. This one, I believe, is $15.99 a 4-pack, so $16 a 4-pack. Fucking one of the best values in craft beer when it comes to hop forward, delicious beer like this. And what else we got? The availability. It's Hop Butcher. Used to be Chicagoland only, and now they're all over the place. You can buy them online at different online retailers. You can get them in, I've seen people grab them in Pennsylvania. I've seen people grab them in Georgia. you can get Hop Butcher if you really want to. Like if you really want to, you can definitely do it. Order online, give them a go. Hopefully their availability and their distribution in general, once they get into their new facility, the old half-acre brewery, hopefully more people get to try their stuff because, you know, they've been, like I said, they've been sending me stuff for about a year and a half, and I haven't said really many negative things about their beer. I think there have been 2 or 3 beers that just weren't for me, and I said, hey, just not for me. I don't like it, you know. But they make fucking quality beer. There's very few beers from them that I'm like, you know, this is okay. More often than not, they're pretty fucking good. And a lot of times they're like this, where they're just awesome beers. So you owe it to yourself to try some Hop Butcher if you like hop forward beers, especially if the double IPAs are your jam. 7.5% double IPAs from Hop Butcher are banging. Forgot about tasting notes. So they have fresh citrus. Yeah, that's unmistakable. Yeah, it's definitely, it's like freshly squeezed orange juice. That's what I get into it. Light resin. I guess that herbaceous dankness could be light resin. Like, it didn't really have like I guess just a resinous hop character. So I guess, yeah, I can see that. And then exotic tropical. Well, what do you consider exotic, Hop Butcher? You know, I don't know. I wouldn't say peach gummy rings are exotic. So, yeah, I didn't really get any, maybe more like the passion fruit kind of realm when I was talking about the nose. But yeah, and the taste, very basic, but in the best way possible. So if you've had Double Grid before, let me know what you think about it. Huge thanks to Hop Butcher for this one. Like I said, it's pretty much the bucket list beer that I wanted to try from Hop Butcher, and I'm glad I got a chance to try it. So thanks again to them. And thanks to everybody watching for you know, supporting the channel, stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I'm so happy I'm back reviewing beers, because beers like this make me miss it even more so than I already did, because when they're delicious, that's what you're looking for. Delicious beer, and this is a fucking delicious beer. So thanks to everybody. Appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.